Good morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5-Minute Morning Miner. It's Wednesday the 24th of November and we're definitely heading towards the Christmas season. We've got the TV adverts on the telly, there's the lights up on the streets, and I went to prep this morning to get my coffee and the Christmas songs were playing. You feeling Christmassy, Ollie?
Not Christmassy just yet. I think we need a few more drinks parties and festive spirit rather than just shops and Christmas sandwiches.
You're probably right. I haven't had a Christmas drinks party yet. We didn't really have any last year either, so but they will be kicking off soon. And there's a few more deals still to be done. And by the way, we've got Ollie today, our head of research and obviously head of mining, as Paul is off doing things. But you better kick off with what is, in my view, really quite it's a huge deal, but actually very interesting, which is Horizonte Minerals. Obviously just raised, virtually $200 million, haven't they, Ollie?
Yes. Yeah. It's a fantastic deal that gets them funded for their Araguaia ferronickel project in Brazil. Ferronickel obviously goes to steel rather than batteries, and it's always been marketed like that. Their second project is the one for the batteries, but this gets it funded. They can use cash flow for the second project. They'd announced a few months ago $346 million senior debt facility, and this $197 million equity ticket is the equity component. And I think what's interesting is that although some of the deal has come from Canada, the majority has come from the UK, and then two big institutions, La Mancha, who anyone who follows Endeavour or Centamin will be familiar with, and Orion Resources, who's obviously been extremely active over the last few months.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a company with now in market cap's nearly 150 million. With this, it'll obviously go even higher. It's interesting because we've worked with Horizonte a bit in the past. We took them to China, and it just shows how long some of these projects, sort of take forever. It appears to get going, and it sort of trundled along the bottom at about 2p until a few years back, when it started moving up as people realised that nickel was very interesting. They started, as you say, sorting out some of their debt. I think it's a terrific deal. It is going to put them, right in the sweet spot of mainline institutions who are starting to want to get involved in some of these mining companies that are in what I describe as pre-production or production. They're not still interested in pure exploration, but it's definitely, there aren't many good nickel plays in the UK market, and Horizonte is the one to play if you're going to play it. I think it's fair to say. No,
there aren't that many good nickel plays anywhere, and I think the thing that's always made this stand out is the unit costs of around $8,000 a ton, which nickel's a very volatile metal, and although the price is at $19,000 a ton today, it's been half that sort of 2 years ago, and is a hugely volatile metal. So you have to find projects which can withstand the full cycle. The other thing to point out from the deal is that $65 million are in convertible notes, which convert at 15.75p, 125% above the placing price. So that gives you a pretty strong indication of both the upside potential and also the sort of fact that the company were cognizant that they were raising a sum of money in excess of their market cap.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think overall it's a great deal. Well done to those involved, and well done to Horizonte. If people have got further questions on this deal, then do contact it directly. What else would you like to point out this morning, Ollie?
Small warrant exercise in Tungsten West. There's 242,000 new shares. It's only a sort of £70,000 or something exercise, but it probably explains some of the recent pullback in the stock from around 80p. It's now at sort of 70p. But I mean, you expect this sort of movement early in the sort of settlement period after a listing.
Yeah, I think it's also worth pointing out, I picked up this morning that Breeden Group had a trading update. I picked it up actually because it's in my mother's IHT portfolio that I run. But they had exceptionally strong trading update with revenues up about 31% and very, very bullish about the future. Breeden are aggregates. And the aggregates industry at the moment is absolutely booming. And of course, Tungsten West has a big aggregates business, Aggregates West, which it 100% owns. And that bodes extremely well for that part of the business. So, everything that we said when we did the IPO is still coming true. But yeah, aggregates clearly going very strongly.
Yeah, and the tungsten price has been edging higher. It's now $313 an MTU, I think. So it was about 300 when we did the deal. So that's also been creeping higher.
Okay. I saw that Asiamet has had some more good drill results. But again, Asiamet's a bit like, it's copper in Indonesia. And it's a bit like Horizonte in a way. It's got everything going right for it, but it struggles to get traction in its share price.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's the sort of project where additional drilling isn't necessarily going to make that much of a difference. It does need a cornerstone shareholder to get behind it and believe in it, and take it forward to the next stage, because exploration drilling is tinkering around it. If you think about the project as a sort of DCF, you're adding tons on to the very last couple of years of the mine life, which are so heavily discounted. The value add at this point is relatively minimal.
Okay. Anything else you want to comment
on? Just pointing out, on the lithium side, Bradder Head, which listed in London fairly recently, they're in Nevada, close to American Lithium, and they've had some thicker intercepts. They're now looking at about 100 meters of a clay-bearing lithium zone, in which they've got a higher grade intersection of about 21 meters at sort of 1500 ppm lithium. And these clay stones are lower grade than the other types of lithium deposits, but 1500 ppm is comparable to those other clay stones in the region. So they're demonstrating some good grades, and also their ability to extend the resource. Obviously, the big value unlock for these projects is when you start to do the met test work and prove that you can get the high recoveries you need to make this sort of project work. But it's a good starting point.
Yeah, we had a very successful roadshow with American Lithium. Feedback very positive. We need to get them dual listed in London on the Aquis market, so UK investors can do it. Worth also maybe just quickly mentioning on the ASX, Horizon Minerals has agreed with its majority joint venture partner Richmond Vanadium to combine their interest and spin off the Richmond Vanadium Shale project in Queensland as a new company. I mention it because obviously we're very interested in vanadium. Vanadium shale is the cheapest way of producing vanadium. So just sort of watch this spot. There's a lot going on in the vanadium space, which we like. Anything else, Ollie, or should we call it a day there?
No, I think that's plenty.
Very good. So do I. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Andrew.